All right, guys, so I'm a little late, a day late for this Chucky review for episode 3. I usually do a review after the episode, but I uh, I stayed up too late last night, had to go in early for work. So it's out today. So like I said, if I'm already too late, that's fine. I just like to talk about it on camera. So Chucky episode 3 called "I Like to Be Hugged," which is of course the line that Chucky says in almost every single movie. I think he says them in every single one. Um, I liked how this episode continues on really well, establishing these characters. I liked how you get through the first 3 episodes so far. You've gotten little hints of how Chucky became like a killer, and or Charles Lee Ray became a killer, not a hiller, a killer. Slurring there. I like that you saw this backstory into it. The first episode just kind of showed a hint of like him as a little kid. The second episode showed him putting razor blades in apples and even biting into it and bleeding. And like this episode, I like the fact that it shows straight up that a killer breaks into his house and then Chucky kills his mom in the closet, and then the killer sees it and then he's like, "I'll let you go, kid. Good job." Which I thought was like weird, but I liked that, and I liked how it really worked into the fact that Jake, the main character of this show, is being tempted by Chucky to kill, and I liked how Jake really wants to kill Lexi because Lexi is this character who's this horrible bitch of a character, and I really like the actress playing her. Like I've never seen her in anything else, but she does a great job of being horrible in this show, and I really like that. I liked all the acting so far from all these new characters as well. So Chucky is tempting Jake to do this, and it's something that you haven't really seen in the Chucky series or franchise, where Chucky tries to convince someone to kill. Like in the other movies, Chucky's just a killer himself, or it will be like, say, Tiffany doesn't want to kill anymore, and like in Seed of Chucky, and Chucky's like, "No, I want to keep killing," and she's like, "No, for the kid, we're not going to do it." But there's never really been one where he's had a person and he's telling him like, "Dude, like, be like me, be a killer." Like, and I liked how, again, every time Don Mancini does a new movie, and this time a show, it always continues on to elaborate on something different in the terms of the characters. And I liked how in this one Chucky is using that. Like he's tempting Jake, this 13, 14-year-old kid, to go and kill this girl because of how horrible she is. And I really like that. And I know that they're probably going to make it where Jake isn't a killer, and I would be glad for that because Jake is such a nice kid in the show. Like, I don't think he's got it to do that, but I really like that as well. I like the fact that Chucky is taken to Lexi's house, and Lexi's little sister, who's obsessed with Chucky after seeing him in the audience whenever they do the ventriloquist act in the first episode. I love that connection with that, and I love the fact that this whole ending of the episode, I think, is the best part. Even though the show is great, the episode is great as well, but the last like 10-15 minutes are really good. Like, I like the fact that Chucky's in the house with Lexi and all her friends. They're all partying with headphones in. So Chucky thinks he's got Lexi, like he's gonna stab her, but then he stabs this random kid, and then he just sits there, and the kid's like, like he's in pain. And then Chucky goes, fuck it. And then he just starts killing this kid. And I thought it was funny because it's a horror show, but it's funny with that kind of humor where Chucky's like, fuck it, I'll just do it. And like that humor I thought worked. I like the fact that whenever Lexi's alone getting high in that room, it really harkens back to Child's Play 2, where Kyle finds Mrs. Simpson dead in that room, in her bedroom after sewing. And I think that it's funny to see Lexi like looking for Chucky. Like she finds like shoes, and like she realizes that he took his shoes off because they're behind the curtains. And then Chucky jumps on her and starts doing that kicking thing that he does, like when he jumps on Kyle in Child's Play 2. Like, it was very similar to Child's Play 2 with that. And also with Lexi's little sister, whenever Chucky is talking to, or whenever Lexi's talking about Chucky, she says, like, oh, Chucky wants to watch the news, which is, of course, from the first Child's Play, where Andy says, like, Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news, like, because Chucky's talking to her. And I like those callbacks. I think those are fun. And it's weird because I thought I would be more annoyed at that, because Curse of Chucky had the Alice character who was like this girl, where like Chucky would tell her the same stuff and she'd say the same thing. But I feel like they've still given it enough difference to make you not really be annoyed by it, because I noticed that this show is repetition with like lines and character traits for stuff like that, but it still works, and I think that it's still interesting. The ending I thought was really great for this episode. I love the fact that, again, Lexi is getting attacked by Chucky. She gets choked out like with a rope, but I think I'm assuming she survived. You honestly don't know yet. But whenever the weed she's smoking, like the joint, like catches on fire on the drapes, and the house catches on fire, and the kids downstairs don't even realize that. They're just dancing, and the house is getting set on fire while Lexi's sister is asleep. So, and I'm guessing Lexi is alive still, but who knows? Like, they didn't show it. They just showed her getting choked out, but then after that, she threw Chucky, and then that was it. Like, you didn't see what that is. But I like the fact that you see that great shot of Chucky in the fire, like just sitting there with his hair flailing, and like it's a really great image for a horror thing. Like, it's really cool. So I really thought this was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. And I think that all 3 episodes so far are really, really good. And again, it's just because of the great writing by Don Mancini, because of how he really does treat this franchise like it's like his kid. And it's one of the only horror franchises that keeps its continuity. Like, it connects to every single movie. It's not like they start over again and again and again, like the Halloween franchise, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they like exist but don't exist in the same universe kind of thing. Like, where they just are very bad with continuity. But the Chucky franchise, I think, does a great job of keeping the continuity, or not the continuity, the canon of the story, and keeping everything, no matter if it's humorous or horror. I love that they blend it together very well. So I'm glad that he's still doing great with these shows, or with this show and the series. And I feel like, I'm wondering if he's going to do a movie next again, but this show, I think, is so far pretty successful. Like, for me personally, I think it's got a lot of viewers so far. So I'm hoping that it's successful, and hopefully it will keep having more Chucky stuff. I know we had the 2019 remake, which I actually really dug. I was kind of against it because, again, we had the other Chucky franchise where I love more. But the remake was actually really, really solid and really different than I expected in a fun way. So I'm glad to see both of them. If we get more of the new Chucky 2019 movie, like a sequel to that. But I want to see more of the original Chucky, obviously more. But I'm glad we get multiple Chucky stuff. So that'd be awesome if we get a sequel to Child's Play as well. 2019. But yeah, like I said, I love this franchise. So I'm glad to see this going strong. So I can't wait for next week. But yeah, that's it for today. I never know how to end these videos. I always end awkwardly. Like, what do I say? But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.